Because do you know what I have planned today? I want to tell you guys a story. This is going to be a story of me running from the police. I guess I haven't really run from the police yet because they've never chased me. There is currently, as of this very second, a warrant out for my arrest. Why is there a warrant out for my arrest? You may be thinking in that brain of yours like, wow, what could Adam have done that was so wrong, that was so upsetting to the government, that they have put out a warrant, a declaration, saying, if you see this man, arrest him. And how did it escalate to that point? And why is Adam even talking about it? That's the question I'm asking myself right now. Maybe it's not good to talk about it until I get it resolved. But I doubt there's any local policemen watching this right now. I mean, when you got a warrant for your arrest and you say that's not a big deal, then I guess that just means you're freaking edgy like me. You know, like I'm just known for being on the cusp of life. So it all starts way back when I decided to go with my wife's family to do a little camping. You know, just go out and to hike down into Mother Earth and view the wildlife and relax a little bit. It all started with that. Now, my wife's family has gone to this camping spot many a year. And there's a little body of water. And in that body of water, there's these little animals called fish. I went fishing. I went fishing with my wife and her family. And you know what? I caught one fish. I caught a fish. And this was after about 14 other fish had been caught. I finally, after hiking down into Mother Nature and standing in the mud for about 2 hours, I caught one fish. And boy, oh boy, was it the most beautiful looking fish I've ever seen. This fish would come back to bite me in the butt. And I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about metaphorically. Anyway, so I caught this fish and and I'm celebrating. I feel rectified in my decisions for that day. I mean, I caught a freaking fish. I went out into nature and supplied food for myself. But there was a catch. And the catch is I didn't have a fishing license. I was illegally hunting for aquatic animals. Now, for this reason, I put the fish back. Honestly, I put it back because we weren't going to eat him anyway, and I didn't want to just kill it and leave it on the ground, so I put it back, and it swam away, and it was happy. It got a little taste of the orange bait. The orange bait was the best looking color out of all of them, so that's why I chose it, but I got a little taste of that orange bait. And I released it. I might have poked its mouth a little bit with the hook, but other than that, that fish was happy. It got what it wanted. I got what I wanted. And we departed and went our separate ways. Just in the nick of time too, because it started sprinkling a little bit with like water coming out of the sky. So we parted our separate ways. I said goodbye to my friend the fish. And me and my wife started hiking back to our campground. Now, these two guys drive up on these four-wheelers. And these dudes were like, hey, I got a little question for you. Were you and your wife just down at the lake fishing? And I knew exactly who they were because these men had little uniforms on. They were the game wardens, the patrollers of the forest. They were police forestmen. Forest policemen? Police forestmen. And before I could answer, my wife chirped in and said, no, we weren't fishing down there. But that man was actually undercover, and he was in a group fishing right next to us. So he turned and he said, you know what? I actually saw you guys down there, so I know you were fishing. And boy, did we feel a little sheepish. And he decided to write us a ticket. A ticket for hunting the aquatic animals without a license. Now, if you've ever gotten a speeding ticket, a car ticket, heck, a parking ticket, you know they suck. You know you're gonna pay, what, $100? You're gonna pay $100 for a speeding ticket, maybe even more, maybe even less. Like maybe your parking ticket was only $15. I paid many a parking ticket in my life. Guess how much this ticket was for? Guess how much this ticket for hunting aquatic animals was for? It was for $175. Now, there was me and my wife, so that totals to $350 to catch one fish. One fish that I happily released on its way. It was a happy fish. I don't think there was any permanent damage done to it. It got a little taste of the glorious orange fishing bait. And this fish and I departed on good terms. We shook hands, gave each other a high five, and we both went on our merry ways. So you can say I was just a little PO'd. I was a little PO'd that what does PO'd mean? Postal options. I was a little upset. I was a little upset that I had to pay $300 for this fishing trip. This fishing experience. But you know what? The law is the law. I am a law-abiding citizen. And so I drove home. Mind you, this was the Colorado. We were in Colorado at the time. I drove home. My wife and I each wrote a check to pay for our separate bills and sent them off in the mail. Now my payment for my ticket was flying through the air through the US Postal Service. Okay? The government took my money and was flying it to the Colorado State Department, to the correct office, I don't know which one, to pay for my mistake in fishing. But it was lost. My check was lost in the mail. And did they notify me of this? Nope. There was zero tracking on the check, no way to know who to notify. And when they wrote me the ticket, they said, if you don't pay the ticket by this date, you'll have to go to court 2 weeks later. Well, I paid my ticket and I didn't go to court. So fast forward 6 months today, I get a little letter in the mailbox from the department that I sent my check to, saying, there has been a warrant issued for your arrest. My arrest, because I failed to pay my $175 for the experience to go fishing. And that's it. That's where we stand today. There's no resolution to the story. I'm scared every time I go driving because if I get pulled over, they will take me to jail. And yeah. So I am a wanted man here in the state of Utah. In America, I'm a wanted man. I guess in any state that I go to, I'll be a wanted man. And I feel kind of, I don't know why I kind of like it. I don't know why I'm kind of a rebel. I'm kind of loving the fact that I'm living on the edge. No, I don't love it. I've tried I've called them so many times to see if I could pay them over the phone, but the government being as inefficient as it is, does not have any way to take online payments, over the phone payments. In fact, I can't take any payments unless it's physical cash or a physical check. So that's how efficient the Colorado State Department is right now. So yeah, I've been just making phone calls like crazy trying to get this resolved for myself. And yeah, but that's my story. That's my story for you guys on how I have a warrant out for my arrest right now. So you're basically talking to a convict. I'm just saying. You're basically talking to a convict. Now, is this gonna affect my life at all? I don't know. Probably not. Like, there's just, this is, when I talk to the people over in the office, you know, they said, oh yeah, this happens all the time. So, like, people's checks get lost in the mail. We don't get the payment, so it's totally fine. So we're working with them on it. Obviously, things aren't totally fine because there's a warrant right now, but apparently this happens all the time. So nothing too bad to worry about. Hey, you guys. Hey, hello to everyone on Facebook. Hello to everyone on Twitch. Thanks for coming and checking me out. I'm checking you out. It's good to see you guys again. So that's my story. And that's what I wanted to start out today's stream with, was just a little tale of how my life has been. How my day-to-day the last week has been.